Welcome back, Scorpio. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Today we're going to do your August Situationship Love Tarot reading. As always, we're going to start what's happening in the sky. If you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated for me. And you get to see more of my smiling face. So, Scorpio, August has some interesting things happening for you. We're going to go through another series of T-squares over the next few days, over the next week. I'm doing this video on July 30th. So August has some intensity happening right in the beginning of the month for you, and it's happening in your angular houses. And you'll recall last month that I talked about this T-square happening in your 4th house, your 7th house, and your 10th house. And these are the pillars of life. So the 4th house has to do with home, family, roots, ancestry, property, sometimes the mother, but it has a lot to do with family. And that's where Saturn is sitting right now. And Saturn is the taskmaster. Sometimes it represents delay, oppression, a strict authority figure at times, perhaps dad, depending on what's happening with you. But sometimes it just has to do with some strict authority happening in the house, or some delay or restriction, oppression. The sun is going to make an opposition over to Saturn sitting in Leo right now. We're in Leo season as of today, over the next few weeks. And Leo is your 10th house of careers. It's your outward appearance. It's responsibility and discipline, and it's also achievement. So there's tension between the two. There's tension between work at home. Something's going on here. So some of you might be trying to move for a job. There might be some things coming up in the house or the home that could be restrictive or oppressive in some way, shape, or form. And this also would sometimes bring up feelings of shame, pessimism, self-sabotage. So you have to be a little bit careful here, anything happening with the family. But the trigger point is going to be the sun, and that's sitting over in your 10th house of career. So there's just tension perhaps between career partners, career colleagues, something happening in the house, something happening at work, generally speaking. And then it looks like a T, almost like a timeout in the sky. So right at the center point here, is at the midpoint, is Uranus. And Uranus is this planet of change. It's rebellion, it's independence, freedom. It rules electricity, so there could be electric type moments happening for you. And that's sitting in your 7th house. And this is a long transit for Uranus sitting in the 7th house. And the 7th house has to deal with partnerships, one-on-one relationships, marriage, legal contracts, sometimes even sexuality. So those themes could come up for you. So whenever there's this tension brewing, it just has this feeling of culminations of things that just can be really intense at times, Scorpio. And it has to deal with the major pillars of life: home, family, work, and relationships. So there's something brewing here for you that can be really intense. And in the sun Saturn, this only happens once a year when the sun's making its trip around the solar system. And it just has this feeling of wanting to break free of something that could be very restrictive. It could be some family ties. It could be family beliefs. There could be things happening in the workplace where it's all congealing in a way that brings up a lot of tension for you. And Mercury's in the mix too, so the communication planet is very much a part of this particular T-square, and it's going to be perfecting over the next few days. We're coming up to it, so the pressure, in a sense here, is building. Now, I always take a look at your love department as well, and I look to Venus. And Venus right now is sitting in Virgo. She just moved into Virgo about a week ago. And Virgo is a sign of Venus's fall. And let me explain a little bit here. Venus rules Taurus, and it rules Libra, and it's exalted, which means she's got the nicest room in the castle, essentially sitting over in Pisces. The exact opposite sign of Pisces is Virgo. So that means Venus is in its fall. She's in her fall position when she's sitting over in Virgo. So for you, Virgo is your 11th house. It's 11 signs past Scorpio. The 11th house has to do with hopes, wishes, and dreams, long-term goals, financial gains, technology and innovation, freedom and liberation. See, this theme of freedom and liberation is coming up again for you in your relationship houses. So it's this need to break free of something. It's a need to liberate yourself, perhaps from restrictive beliefs, restrictive family karma of some type, perhaps a business partner, perhaps you're moving. All of these themes could be coming up for you. So Venus sitting in the 11th generally is actually pretty good. It can bring in financial rewards, but when it's sitting in Virgo, there could be an unexpected expense of type because Venus is a planet of money. This also has to do with aesthetics. So friends come up during this time too, and group associations. So it's kind of like a fallen female figure because Venus represents females oftentimes. So it's kind of like something might be happening with a female friend that maybe she's going through a rough time right now. It's the fall of Venus. So sometimes it brings up head and heart. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is a very mental, communicative, rational type planet, and Venus is more about the senses, the aesthetics of life. So it's this tension between head and heart. Something's happening with friends perhaps that comes up here. And again, all these angular houses are being hit: home, family, career, a lot of tension happening. And the trigger point's really career for you because that's where the sun's moving in. So really pay attention to that overall. But again, partnerships could be very much impacted by this because Uranus is part of this loose T-square that's happening in the sky right now. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck, faith, morality, just moved back into Aquarius. And that's where Saturn's sitting. Saturn rules Aquarius. So again, it's this theme of family karma, family beliefs, family heritage that's coming up. Is there something that's restrictive, oppressive, that you need to review? Is it holding you back in some way? So these are all themes that are coming up for you, Aquarius. The angular houses are big. They're the pillars of life. We're all going through this T-square in some way, shape, or form. So think back to early July, late June. If there was something that was happening during that time that was pretty intense, you could see this bubble up again in some way. So I'm telling all the signs that right now, T-squares are tense. So we just have to kind of work through it and realize the universe is directing us in realigning us for something else. So that's what's happening for you, Scorpio in the sky. We're going to do your tarot reading today. I'm going to pull 6 cards from the tarot. I'm going to do a modified Celtic cross, 1 card from the angels for your piece of advice. Keep in mind, I do these videos for Scorpio ascendant, sun, moon, and Venus. If one of these planets is not sitting in Scorpio, take a look at the other readings because sometimes those readings will speak more to you because this is a general reading after all. If you're looking for a personal reading, my email's in the description box below. Send me an email. We can set up a time to chat. All right, Scorpio. You've been going through this energy for the last good 6 months. And Uranus has been in that 7th house, shaking things up with relationships, wanting freedom, liberation, change of some type. For quite a few years, since 2018. So this T-square just highlights that energy. It can be unstable at times, but it's breaking free of old patterns, things that don't serve you anymore. So be aware of that. It can be challenging at times, and it can be really intense. So we'll see what's happening for you, Scorpio. Again, this is your situationship reading. We all go through situationships. Doesn't matter if you're married, partner, dating, looking, single. Things come up, and this will give you some additional insight into where it's headed, where it's going. Conscious awareness, that's what this channel is all about. So let's see what's going on for you. First card out is going to be the general energies of the reading. King of Wands. So this is a bold character. He's assertive. He goes for what he wants. This is fire energy as well, so you could be dealing with an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. We just talked about the fact that the Sun and Mercury is sitting in Leo. So this could also be an authority figure, a boss of some type. But in a love reading, typically speaking, this is someone that is assertive. They're magnetic. They're bold, and they go for what they want. They're very much in their power. Sometimes a little dominant at times too. They can definitely assert their will. But generally, I would say this guy is pretty good. He's not like the Knight. The Knight tends to be a little bit fleeting. The King, on the other hand, very much in control of his power. So this is good. So you are making steps here, or your other person, if it happens to be your love interest, is pretty much on the up and up for the most part. But we'll see what else is going on here. The next card is going to be what is crossing you, your immediate environment. Yeah, Eight of Swords. So feeling stuck here. So this is, the two kind of are different in a way because this is very much an action card. This is taking action. So you might be feeling like you need to take some action with these T-squares, home, family, work, partnership, and you're just feeling stuck. You're not really sure what to do right now. Barriers are up, walls are up. We'll pull more cards to see what this is all about, but you'll notice here that the woman is blindfolded. And the symbolism here is that she doesn't have all the information. She's feeling stuck and confined, and she's not making any moves right now. So these two are very archetypal. There's archetypal differences between the two. So you're wanting to take action, but not sure what action to take just quite yet. This is the Destiny card. This is where things are moving forward. So you're going toward a victory, and I like seeing this for you, Scorpio. This is the Six of Wands. This is sometimes indicative of relationships and marriage and commitment. So if you're trying to grapple with some relationship issues right now, not really sure what to do, I think you're going to find a victory here in the end. This is the man riding off on the horse. This is the victory card of some type. So you're coming toward the victory, but you don't want to make any sudden moves, right? You want to make sure it's the right victory. It's the right person. It's the right scenario. This is the distant past. Yeah, Ten of Wands. So this is burden, and this is feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulder. It's a lot, and it's the end of a cycle, which I like seeing because it is the 10. But he's going home, and he's making a homecoming after a long work. This could be some really difficult work that you've gone through, perhaps even in a relationship, and it's just feeling like you've had to put in a lot of work, over the long haul to get to this point. But it's coming to an end, and I like seeing this in the past position because this is just a lot of burden overall. Next card out is Recent Past, the Strength card. This is also the Leo card. So again, this is kind of pointing toward career, but this could also be you finding that inner strength to make some changes. You finding that inner strength to make the right moves in your life right now as to where you're going. To find this victory. To realign yourself, to make sure things are in alignment and your pillars of life so you can bring in that fulfillment and joy. Because there's been a lot of burden for you over the last year, for sure, Scorpio. So it's you taming the inner lion within, but it's also finding that inner strength to bring about what it is you want, to manifest your highest purpose and your highest destiny. And we all have it within us. So this is actually, I like seeing this overall. You're finding that inner strength to get the victory. This is the outcome of the situation here. Yeah, so it's Five of Swords. So sometimes this card is very much a card of looking back at the past. The Sun-Saturn opposition, Saturn oftentimes represents the past. It represents some type of oppression, restriction, delay. It's the taskmaster. It's having to grow up and be an adult about something, taking responsibility. So if you're trying to get the win-win here, if things in the relationship have been burdensome, you're feeling stuck, perhaps you haven't heard from this person in a while, very bold and assertive, it's you taking a look back. Did you make the right decisions here? Because this is kind of a post-battle card of sorts. And his, after the battle, his enemies are walking away and this guy's still looking back, wondering, did I make the right decision here? So perhaps you left a relationship behind. Perhaps something just wasn't working out for you overall. And you're wondering, did I make the right decision here? So what we're going to do is clarify this card. I want to pull one more card to see what exactly this is about. Yeah, you're going to go to the new start. And I like seeing this for you, Scorpio, because this also has to do with money, perhaps even work. So maybe you're starting a new career, going on a new path. But in a love reading, I like seeing this because this is you saying, I want something stable. I want something that isn't leaving you guessing whether or not this person is into you, whether or not your partner, is on the up and up. Are they telling you the truth about a situation? But this is also related to the victory card, right? So here he is going off in victory, and the victory is the new start. It's leaving something behind. It's unshouldering the burdens that have been keeping you back. This has to do with oppression, restriction, delay, the drudgery of life. It can be difficult, and it needed inner strength for you to start this new cycle. And I like that it's a pentacle card too, because that means you want something that is stable, something that's meant to last, something that can be built upon methodically slowly but surely, something that's not going to crumble because it's a fleeting moment. So something new, I think, is definitely coming in for you. You might be looking back and wondering, did I make the right decision? Is this really the person for me? And I think what it is the universe says, once you decide to let go of the past situations that weren't serving you, falling back into past patterns in love that aren't good for you, then you get the new start. Then the universe literally reaches out, right? It's the clouds with the hand coming out here and saying, here it is. Do you want it, Scorpio? It's all here for you, but you don't second guess this. Don't second guess it just quite yet. Let's pull a card from the angels for your piece of advice. Yeah, you deserve love. You are lovable. So you could just be feeling right now, like, again, the Sun Saturn brings up sometimes feeling of shame, oppression, insiders versus outsiders. And it can be a little bit of a reality check. And then with Uranus sitting in that 7th house of partnerships, it literally is liberation and freedom, revolution, rebellion, electric situations. And you could just be feeling like, am I worth it? Do I have that self-worth? Are my values aligning with people that I'm bringing into my life? You're headed toward a victory here, right? With that 6 of Wands card. But I think you just need to remind yourself that you have so much to offer, Scorpio. Your intensity, the way you love, your loyalty. There are people out there that need that are wanting that. And you just have to find the right fit to make sure that you can also receive back what it is you need. And it's calling for a transformation of sorts, a release of sorts. And you're very good at this, Scorpio, overall. You know how to do this, so you are lovable. You have to remind yourself of that every day. Look yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I am lovable. Because that will build up that self-confidence for you to start this new cycle, to find that inner strength, take down some barriers here. There's some barriers that are inhibiting you from finding that true love, or from taking that relationship to the next level, or from reconciling something that you want. Because there is a victory here, but you got to take down the walls. You got to take down the barriers. You got to let them see your inner light and show your true self. And sometimes that's very difficult for you. But here it is. This is what the angels want you to do. I hope you enjoyed this reading, Scorpio. We'll be back next week. Leave a comment if this is resonating with you, and have a great weekend. See you.